Good afternoon, friends. Miss Lorraine here with edition number, I think, 6 of Oakview Dc Storytime. And as you can see, I'm in a different location, and yeah, my hair is different too. Because we're in crazy times, I decided that I was going to do some crazy things with my hair. So this is just step number 1 for what I'm doing with my hair. So you'll see in future videos what else happens with it. But yeah, right now it is blonde, but it is yellow blonde, so that's not what I wanted. So anyway, and I am in a different location. I'm in my bedroom, so you guys are getting a glimpse of my personal sanctuary. This is my bedroom, and behind me is one of my cats, Hustler. This is my oldest daughter's cat, Hustler. And I was trying to find a book to read to you guys for today's story time, and I was having a difficult time because there's several different topics we can choose from for April. There's, of course, like spring books, there's Earth Day kind of things. I mentioned before that it is Arab American Heritage Month as well. Also, because I didn't mention this, but another holiday that is in the month of April is Ramadan. Ramadan begins on the 23rd, which is a Muslim holiday, probably the most important to them. So I will talk about that later on this month. Also, Earth Day is on the 22nd. And apparently, I did not know, but someone mentioned to me today that April is also National Poetry Month. So because it's National Poetry Month, I decided, well, maybe I'll look for some poetry, but I was having a hard time with that too. The only real poetry collections I have for children is mostly Dr. Suess. So as you can see, my cat Hustler decided to help out with the selection. He decided to plop himself down on this book, and he is determining that this is what we're going to read for today, I guess. So we will be reading it once he decides he'll get off of it. It is The Places You'll Go by Dr. Suess, which I believe we did read with each other last month in actual DC when it was Dr. Seuss's birthday week. However, I think that this still fits for now too, and well, Hustler has spoken, so we're going to hear The Places You'll Go. So I will. Good afternoon, Oakview DC friends. Miss Lorraine here again with edition number 6 of Oakview DC Storytime, and this is the second part. In the previous part you saw my bedroom and a little bit of it, and you saw one of my cats, Hustler, and the fact that he's the one who selected the book for today through his flopping down on it actions. So because amongst many other things, April is apparently National Poetry Month, I wanted to share with you guys a book of children's poetry today. I have some, and of course I can't find them anywhere at the moment. So the closest that I have at the moment to poetry, and it is technically poetry, is a Dr. Seuss book. So like I had said in the previous video, or the earlier part to this, if I can figure out how to actually fuse them together. Never done that before in editing, so we'll see how that works. If it works great, then it'll just be the earlier part of this video that took place in my bedroom. If it doesn't work, then it'll be a short little video that comes on preceding to this. But, so the book that my cat Hustler chose for today is The Places You'll Go by Dr. Seuss. Which, yes, I believe we did already read this, or at least we read part of it during Dr. Seuss week we were celebrating while we were still in DC. But that's okay. I really like this one. I think it's a great, it's one of my favorites of his. It's a great inspirational book of his. It's got a really good message. And I think I mentioned this to you guys before, that because of what the great message that it has, and it is one of his classic greatest hits, This one in particular is often chosen as a gift for graduates from high school or from college, or it is sometimes quoted in part during people's speeches that they give at graduation ceremonies, because it is a lot about your potential, what you can do with yourself when you determine what direction you want to take in your life and where all you can go. So, without further ado, Oh, the Places You'll Go by Dr. Seuss. So now it is poetry because it rhymes. And not all poetry needs to rhyme by any means, but probably the most popular form of poetry that children are familiar with is the type that rhymes, where ending lines, a word in every other ending line rhymes, like an A-B pattern. But that is not by any means the only type of poetry at all. And perhaps I will be able to find some other kinds in some format, whether I can read actual books, or maybe I can provide some links to you guys for some other books that you can check out, which will give you examples of different kinds of poetry which do not rhyme. Congratulations! Today is your day. You're off to great places. You're off and away. So while you're listening, be sure and see if you can notice all of the rhyming sounds. Which of the words and which lines have ending words that rhyme. You have brains in your head. You have feet in your shoes. You can steer yourself any direction you choose. You're on your own and you know what to do. And you are the guy who will decide, see, I didn't do that right and it didn't turn out right. You're on your own and you know what you know, and you are the guy who will decide where to go. So when I mess it up, you guys will realize because it doesn't rhyme. So hopefully I won't do that too much. You'll look up and down streets, look over them with care. About some you will say, I don't choose to go there. With your head full of brains and your shoes full of feet, you're too smart to go down any not so good street. Right? It's not going to go there. That doesn't look like a good choice. And you may not find any you'll want to go down. In that case, of course, you'll head straight out of town. Into this area. It's opener there in the wide open air. And indeed, isn't that true? You get out into the country, up in the mountains, away from the city, it is more wide open. Out there things can happen, and frequently do, to people as brainy and footsy as you. And when things start to happen, don't worry, don't stew. Just go right along, you'll start happening too. So things are going to happen, unexpected things. It's okay, just go with the flow. Oh, the places you'll go. Look at that zany looking picture. Wow. You'll be on your way up. You'll be seeing great sights. You'll join the high flyers who soar to high heights. If only you could take off in a balloon like that. You won't lag behind because you'll have the speed. You'll pass the whole gang and you'll soon take the lead. Wherever you fly, you'll be the best of the best. Wherever you go, you will top all the rest. Right? It's flying on ahead. Except when you don't, because sometimes you won't. I'm sorry to say, but sadly it's true that bang-ups and hang-ups can happen to you. You can get all hung up in a prickly perch, and your gang will fly on, and you'll be left in a lurch. Doesn't look like too much fun there. He got caught and hung up, and everybody's leaving him behind. And indeed, sorry to say, it will happen to you sometimes. You'll come down from the lurch with an unpleasant bump, and the chances are then you'll be in a slump. And when you're in a slump, and you're not in for much fun, unslumping yourself is not easily done. Isn't that so true? Sometimes these days people consider being depressed being in a slump. I don't know if that's true, because depression is actually something more serious than that, actual depression. But You could say having the blues, kind of being stuck in a rut. That's another expression. And right now, while we're all kind of being forced to stay inside and do shelter in place and practice social distancing, sometimes it can feel like you're kind of getting stuck in a rut and being left behind. But don't feel alone. You're not the only one. You will come to a place where the streets are not marked. Some windows are lighted, but mostly they're dark. A place where you could sprain both your elbow and chin. Do you dare stay out? Do you dare go in? How much can you lose? How much can you win? Sprain your elbow and chin. How would you sprain your chin anyway? I don't know. That would entail a serious type of accident, something very strange. And if you go in, should you turn left or right and 3/4, or maybe not quite? Or go around back and sneak in from behind? Simple it's not, I'm afraid you will find, for a mind maker-upper to make up his mind. Because you got all these options, right? Sometimes it's really hard to know which way is the right way. And to be very honest, my friends, nothing in life will ever come to you with a sign saying this is the right way to go. Nothing in life is ever going to be absolutely certain for you that that's the right thing to do. You will have to make all of those choices yourself, eventually. As children right now, of course, your parents make some choices for you, but eventually, when you're grown, you will be making them all on your own. You can get so confused that you'll start in to race down long, wiggled roads at a breaknecking pace and grind on for miles across weirdish wild space, headed, I fear, toward a most useless place. Ugh, the waiting place. Yeah. Incredibly useless, incredibly boring, but incredibly common, right? Because we all do this all the time. And perhaps right now, during our coronavirus quarantine time, we're doing this more than any other time. For people just waiting for a train to go, or a bus to come, or a plane to go, or the mail to come, or the rain to go, or the phone to ring, or the snow to snow, or waiting for a yes or a no, or just waiting for their hair to grow. Everyone is just waiting, right? Sometimes waiting is the worst. Waiting for the fish to bite, or waiting for a wind to fly a kite, or waiting around for Friday night, or waiting perhaps for their Uncle Jake, or a pot to boil, or a better break, or a string of pearls, or a pair of pants, or a wig with curls, or another chance. Everyone is just waiting. Waiting in line, waiting for something to download, waiting for a chance to get on the TV. Maybe you gotta share with your siblings, waiting for your turn on the tablet. Maybe you have a time limit. I hope you do. That you can only be on it for a certain amount of time, so you're waiting. But yeah. No, that's not for you. Somehow you'll escape all that waiting and staying. You'll find the bright places where boom bands are playing. Really? Be nice, huh? Be entertained rather than sitting around waiting. With banner flip-flapping, once more you'll ride high, ready for anything under the sky. Ready because you're that kind of guy. Oh, the places you'll go. There is fun to be done. There are points to be scored. There are games to be won. And the magical things you can do with that ball will make you the winningest winner of all. Fame. You'll be famous as famous can be, with the whole wide world watching you win on TV. Or watching you on YouTube. But wait for it. That's not gonna last. Except when they don't. Because sometimes they won't. I'm afraid that sometimes you'll play lonely games too. Games you can't win because you'll play against you. Right? There's always going to be times in life where you're alone. And there are going to be times when that loneliness feels lonely. When being alone doesn't feel pleasant. All alone, whether you like it or not. Alone will be something that you'll be quite a lot. And when you're alone, there's a very good chance you'll meet some things that will scare you right out of your pants. There are some down the road between hither and yon that can scare you so much you won't want to go on. Sometimes it can be really scary, and then you can get stuck in a kind of a frozen pattern, right? You don't want to make a move because you're not sure which way to go. Maybe everything seems scary. Sometimes we feel that way. But on you will go, though the weather be foul. On you will go, though your enemies prowl. And you will go through though the hack and cracks howl, onward up many a frightening creek, though your arms may get sore and your sneakers may leak. Because you can't let that stuff stop you, right? You can't. Things are going to be hard sometimes. There's going to be bumps in the road. You're going to be lonely. And there's going to be things that scare you in life. But those are the things that you have to work harder to fight or meet the challenge, even more so because of that, right? On and on you will hike. And I know you'll hike far and face up to your problems, whatever they are. Because problems have a funny way of finding you if you don't find them. So if you don't face up to them, they're going to catch you unaware. You'll get mixed up, of course, as you already know. You'll get mixed up with many strange birds as you go. So be sure when you step with care and great tact. And remember that life's a great balancing act. Just never forget to be dexterous and deft, and never mix up your right foot with your left. Remember, we talked about that before. I think one of the words, or actually two of the words, little phrase that I gave you guys for a word of the day was dexterous and deft. You guys remember what those words mean? They're not words we use real commonly in our day-to-day lives, but they're both words that mean you're skilled, right? That you have abilities or talents at doing something. Dexterous is usually referring to manual skill, like being able to you do things and manipulate things right well with your hands, but it doesn't have to be. And deft is skilled at something too, right? And will you succeed? Yes, you will indeed. 98.75% guaranteed. Kid, you'll move mountains. Now look at that right there. Literally moving mountains. And you can too. Because like this guy, it's going to take a lot of hard work and muscle. But it's going to take some creativity, some ingenuity, some thinking outside the box. Because can you actually move a mountain by yourself just with your hands? No. But he's using his muscle power to pull on these devices, which somehow are actually lifting the entire mountain up. So, be your name Buxbaum or Bixby or Bray or Mordecai Ali Van Allen O'Shea, you're off to great places. Today is your day. Your mountain is waiting, so get on your way. Right? So, I hope you guys found that encouraging today and you enjoyed it. Oh, the places you'll go. And I know right now it seems like we're not going anywhere, but just as this book points out to you, I really like this book as well. And I think it's very relatable for our times because it's making the point to you that nothing in life is certain, that nothing in life is static. Things are always changing. And that you can't guarantee how things are going to go for you. You can't always know which way is going to be the right way or the right path to take. You can't always know when you're going to feel up or down, or when you're going to be ahead of the race or be left behind, whether you're going to be lonely or scared, or whether you're going to be happy and having a wonderful time. Things are always changing. And so however you're feeling today, if it's great, I'm happy. I'm so happy for you. I hope you guys keep that up, and I hope it continues for you as long as it can. And if you're not feeling so great today, well, be cheered up because this too shall pass. No matter how you're feeling today, it's going to change. No matter what's going on right now, it's going to change. And in time, we will return to normal and whatever that new normal will be. And I will look forward to seeing you all in person when we can, seeing your smiling, beautiful faces. But until then, keep checking in here on the YouTube channel, keep checking in on our Google Classroom and the Notion website page that I've created for our Oakview Virtual DC. And I've got something else planning in the works. I've spoken with a couple of you about it through the Google Classroom platform, and I'm hoping to reach out to even more of you in the next day or so. I'm hoping to perhaps schedule a Zoom meeting. We'll see if I can get that organized and I can get you guys on board. It would be awesome to be able to interact directly with you for a little bit and let you guys talk with each other. So we'll see. But until then, and until the next time, take care, everybody. And if you enjoyed the video, please remember, give it a thumbs up, give it a like. And if you're an Oakview DC community member or Oakview DC friend, please consider subscribing and hitting that notification bell. That way you'll be let know every time we make a new video. And that way I will also know that you are seeing these, which is, of course, the main reason I'm doing them. So until then, take care, everybody, and I'll see you in the next one.